For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
The line between man and machine is blurring. So, a technological advancement that seemed incomprehensible a generation ago, when we read the Bible, now appears inevitable. People are implanting machines in their hands and their heads.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants.
We're going to combine with that intelligence. We're going to become a merger of biological and non-biological intelligence.
What are they trying to do?
Basically, what they're trying to do is to find a way to connect our brains to our machines.
We're going to put gateways to the cloud in our brains.
Like this, it's like a sci-fi movie. It's insane. But it's happening. Implant.
In your brain.
This is the mark of the beast.
Sometime in the next century, because computers are getting smaller and faster, and eventually the time will come when a child is implanted with a little chip back here and will learn to control the fish in the same way that you learn to control your bodily functions and your voice and your movements, so that not only can you, right now my mind is telling my body to talk, and it's supplying my mouth with the words that I'm giving to you, and the mind could also learn to say to the fish, go to a certain web page, download some information, and supply it to the inside of my eyeballs.
You believe that you're going to be actually able to tell your mind through a chip to provide you with information that you can then speak. So on this program, this would be great for me. You put a little chip in there, and if I didn't know something, I could say would I have to say it out loud or just think it? Either way.
All right, welcome to the Neuralink Show and Tell.
Elon Musk gave an update on his brain device technology startup Neuralink on Wednesday, and he announced that the company could be ready to test in humans in 6 months.
It's sort of like having an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, replacing a piece of skull with like a smartwatch.
The stuff that Neuralink is working on, what they would be able to do is to create activity in the brain. And so that opens up a range of applications like restoring sight and touch and other complex behaviors. So one of the main things that the company showcased was a monkey who had been implanted with one of their Neuralink devices.
Telepathic typing. So to be clear, he's not actually using a keyboard. He's moving the cursor with his mind to the highlighted key. Now technically, it can't actually spell, and so I don't want to oversell this thing.
They also showed this mannequin with a fake brain inside its head, and they showed how this sewing machine kind of robot was able to thread these tiny, tiny threads or electrodes into the brain.
There you go. That's the first insertion.
Those threads basically record neural information, and that's what the implant takes to be able to type on a screen with your mind or play a video game with your mind. In order to have the device in humans, they need to go through some pretty rigorous testing, but it also opens up a really big can of worms in terms of ethical questions, because then you can begin to think about people putting thoughts or memories in your brain, and then you kind of get into this dystopian universe. Now, that's very far off into the future, but that's what neuroethicists worry about with devices like this.
If someone ultimately does get a Neuralink installed, what will take place?
Well, for version 1 of the device, it would be basically implanted in your skull. So